X Factor Nation, we are back with another NBA pod. We have a beautiful show planned out for you guys. But first, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, comment. We love talking to you guys. And check out the channel, man. We have some awesome videos coming out. We have a Trae Young video. We have Draft Class Digest coming out where we take some of the best draft classes we've ever seen and just kind of see where they are at, where they were, and where they're gonna be. And guys, we are so excited. We recorded A to Z player draft that we are absolutely in love with, where me, Troy, and Caleb all drafted a team A through Z, and you guys are not going to want to miss that. That is coming out December 20th. Stay tuned. It's a banger. Caleb, we're here today, and how are you doing?
I'm doing good. A lot of bangers coming out. I love
Banger
it.
after
I love
banger,
it.
baby.
Let's add another one today. What do you say?
Let's do it, man. Always.
Fred, I was watching this Nuggets Mavericks game. As of recording, it was last night. And I was looking at both these teams and I was like, what are the ceilings for this team? Like, how good can this team be? And that got me thinking about these two teams. And I had a couple more teams down. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 7 teams written down that I just want to kind of break into, see where we're feeling about where this team's ceilings are, if we've already seen their ceiling, and how good these teams can be. But without further ado, Fred, let's get right into it. I mentioned I watched the Nuggets Mavs game last night, so I want to start with the Nuggets because this Nuggets team, I'm not very high on. So I understand like Jokic is very, very good, and like they'll always be like a solid team. But I don't know why everybody's so high on them. Like, I guess I'm just missing something because I just don't think this team is as good as everybody thinks. So I'll start with you here. What in your eyes, what's this Nuggets team? What's their ceiling?
I mean, I'm not too crazy high on them either.
Mm.
I think they sit around that 4 and 5 seed the rest of the way. Jamal Murray hasn't been Jamal Murray. Michael Porter Jr. has been good, but he can't stay healthy. We've seen that since he was a rookie. Even in college, he didn't play. So it always scares you. Their backup 5 situations kind of wacky. Bad. Their backcourt outside of Bones Highland coming off the bench and even starting. I think this is a team who definitely needs to make a move. And right now, with their current team, I think their ceiling is exactly where they're at.
Yeah, so if you look at their stats offensively, they're one of the best teams in the league. They're third in assists per game, which I feel like is going to happen when you have Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
They're first in field goal percentage as a team. They shoot 50% as a team, which is very good. Yep. They're second in 3-point percentage at 39. So it's just weird. I just feel like defensively, they're just going to never be caught up. Jamal Murray's not known for his defense. Michael Porter Jr. is not known for his defense. KCP is, but KCP is so inconsistent offensively. Jokic, we've seen teams pick him apart in the playoffs. They go after him in playoffs. Aaron Gordon has been more of a kind of reliable guy defensively there. But even like a guy like Bones Highland, you mentioned, like teams target him when he comes into the game. Like pick and roll, he's small. He doesn't have much weight on him. Yeah, I mean, I just think that the ceiling for this team is they might, catch a couple teams by surprise, finish like second, maybe even first in the West. But I do think it's 1 to 4, maybe 5 every year if they have majority of their guys from most of the year. Now, playoff wise, I think they're a team that their best, their ceiling, the farthest I think they'll go with this core of guys is maybe a conference finals. Maybe.
I wouldn't even give them that, man. I think a second round exit is more likely for them. Just too many question marks, man, especially on the defensive end.
Defensively, it gets me. Back up big. DeAndre Jordan, get out of town. Zeke Naji, I don't think he's ready. They've got Jeff Green coming off their bench, but I mean, Jeff Green's like good for like one highlight dunk every 3 months.
He's old, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just Bruce Brown. I love Bruce Brown. I love what he's done for them, but offensively, he's not. Yeah. He's gotten a lot better offensively, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know how much he's going to help you in a playoff series. Jamal Murray struggled big time. So
I'm ready for him to get healthy. I know that injury wasn't what it was, and just he's not shooting great from the field. It's just not there yet.
Yeah, so I just think this Nuggets, we've seen their ceiling more than likely. I don't
Yeah,
think with this core group that they get any farther than what we've seen.
no, I agree.
We'll just throw it right over here. Mavs. What, in your opinion, is this Mavs ceiling?
I'm not high on the Mavs, Caleb.
It's tough. It's very tough.
Luka's so good. I know everybody's talking about Jason Tatum for MVP. Have we looked at Luka's numbers recently? My God.
Yeah, I mean,
But
team
but you
success.
but you look outside of that. Where are you going?
Yeah.
If there's a beam shooting towards the earth, who are you giving the ball to outside of Luka?
Mm.
Iguodala's not on the Mavs. Like, you know what I'm like? But like they don't have
Yeah.
another guy like Spencer Dinwiddie, serviceable. Tim Hardaway Jr. inconsistent. Christian Wood, a crybaby. Like, where are you gonna go?
Yeah.
That's my question for them. And I think their ceiling. I think they've reached their ceiling. I think they are. They might be a playing team.
Yeah, I think we've seen their ceiling too. They made the Western Conference Finals last year. I think that's until Luka gets help, or if they figure
But
out a
my
way for him to
question
play.
is there someone they tried help? They
Their
tried
help,
giving them help.
their help though was Christian Wood. Their help though was
Kristaps Porzingis, like maybe it's not a big.
Porzingis
Maybe he needs
wasn't
to
a
play with
good
a guard. I
Porzingis
don't
just
know.
wasn't a good fit.
Like, do you think there is a good fit for him though?
Yeah, I think you could find people like I think a guy like DeJounte Murray would have fit really well there.
Okay.
He doesn't need the ball, but when he does have the ball, he's very effective. Um, he's a very, very good defender. That's a weird thing. So that's the thing about this Mavs team is they've got several guys I feel like you could say they're good defenders. Like Tim Hardaway Jr. is not shabby on defense. Dorian Finney-Smith is a guy that can guard.
I love
Maxi
Dorian Finney-Smith.
Maxi Kleba is known for his defense.
Josh Green, I got a
I was
shout
about to
out
say
to.
Josh
He's been
Green.
tough. Every time I've watched him play, he's doing something.
Yeah, Josh Green can be a defender. So they've got guys that should be known for their defense. They're 28th in blocks per game. They don't have a true big man. That's the issue.
No. Like
Dwight
Davis
Powell,
Bertans, like what?
Dwight
He's
Powell's
so
their,
expensive.
yeah, and they're yeah, defensively they don't stand up. Offensively, they're 28th in the league in assists, which is wild to think because it's only Luka. Because Luka gets all these assists, but that's the issue right there is Luka has the ball so much that he's kicking it out, and if you're not shooting it, you're not getting an assist from anyone
Dude,
else.
it's literally Luka at 8.7, and then Spencer Dinwiddie, and then 2, and then
Yeah,
that's everybody else. Like that's someone else has to. Who come? You watch a lot. Who's the main point guard coming off the bench these days?
I don't even know if they have a main point guard off the bench.
Because I'm not looking at a ball handler right now on their team
No,
outside of Luka.
no, I don't think they have a ball handler outside of their bench. Like Josh Green comes off the bench, but he's not a ball handler.
Does Dinwiddie run it?
Yeah,
Like,
I
does he
think
just?
they try to split up Dinwiddie and Luca a lot, but it's like I don't know, man.
That's my problem with like the Bulls, for example. They don't have a ball handler. Like they don't have a guy who can just go make a play for someone else.
Yeah, but I think we both agree here. We've seen the Mavs ceiling, and until Luca gets more consistent help, it might start going downhill from there. So we'll move
Like,
on.
do you think he's breathing down the front office's neck? Like, hey, I gotta have some help, or do you think he cares?
I think he cares. I don't think he's doing that quite yet, though. I think we're starting to see him get fed up more and more this year, though. So
Yeah.
but we'll move on to a team that's even worse. That's even harder to talk about is the Miami Heat.
Do we have to talk about the?
We can get through this really quickly. They're 27th in field goal percentage in the league. They're 23rd in 3-point percentage. They're 21st in assist. They're 30th in blocks, and they're 10th in turnovers per game. So all stats are they're in the bottom half of that you don't want to be. I think we've seen this team ceiling a while ago, like 2-3 years ago, whenever the bubble was, and I don't think we're ever going to see anything close ever again. This Heat team's not good. They're not fun to watch. I thought they were going to really start to string some wins here together, and they've lost 2 really bad ones in a row to a half-hearted Memphis Grizzlies team and a Detroit Pistons team who's not very good.
Yeah, I don't think Jimmy Butler can be a guy anymore. Kyle Lowry's too old. Tyler Hero's really inefficient, inconsistent. Bam Adebayo, I think, has a ceiling, and I don't think he's reached it. I don't know when he's going to reach it. I just feel like he's kind of coasting. Max Strus is good. They're paying guys like Duncan Robinson too much money. Like their bench is just a bunch of undrafted guys, which is cool, which is fine, but you got to perform. Like Caleb Martin's cool,
Yeah.
but you have to do something with this team. I know it seems like they just like their guys.
Well, you see, even there's reports that they're willing to move on from Kyle Lowry. What are you going to get for Kyle Lowry? What are you going to get that benefits you? What are you going to get that helps you?
There's no way he has any value, right? No one values him in this league. Outside of a backup one, maybe?
Off the top of my head, I don't know how much money he's making, but I'd assume it's a lot. And for that, I'd assume for that money, it's not worth it. So, yeah, I don't. We've seen this Heat ceiling a couple years ago, and we'll never get back to that.
They'd have to trade one of their stars because it's not like anybody else on the roster has any name value.
Yeah, and I think that's an idea that we can get into for another video. Is maybe we just do a whole video of blowing up the Miami Heat or trying to fix the Miami Heat. That could be something fun because
my mom's favorite team. She loves the Heat. I like to watch the Heat with her, but because Tyler Hero's her guy. But golly, every time I watch it, I'm like, oh my god, how do you do this every night?
I'm tired of talking about the Miami Heat. Let's move on to a team. Let's move on to a team that's easy to talk about here. The Boston Celtics, Fred. What's this team ceiling? And I'll answer this for you. I think with this core, they're a multiple-time NBA champion.
Oh, absolutely agree.
I think with this core, you are looking at the potential to have minimum 2 championships under their belt. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart is like in his early 30s. Malcolm Brogdon's not even 30 yet. Robert Williams is solid. Grant Williams plays a solid role for this team. Derek White playing really well. Al Horford, I think his old man game is going to translate for a couple more years. They bring guys off the bench like freaking Peyton Pritchard, who doesn't play that much, but when he does, he contributes. Sam Hauser contributes. They've even made Blake Griffin. Their plan with Blake Griffin is, hey, you're going to play once a week for us, and you're going to play 25 minutes. And he goes out there and he plays well for this team. This Celtics team is the best team in basketball. It's not even close. And with this core, you are looking at least a championship or 2 under their belt when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. I mean, you look at a team who Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown are leading the way and scoring steeply falls off, but everybody else is just doing a role and playing it well.
Fred, think about
Brogdon this. Was a home run pickup.
Think about this. It's the playoffs. You're playing in a very tight game that matters. Late in game, the Celtics throw out Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, and Robert Williams. Those are 5 guys that can switch onto anybody on the court.
Oh, yeah. That's like Jaylen Brown's elite level defender. Jason Tatum's a better defender. Like, we've seen what Robert Williams can do around the rim. Like, and he hasn't even played this year, has he?
I think he might have played.
He hasn't played one game.
Yeah.
We haven't even seen this team ceiling yet, dude, which is insane. Because Robert Williams is a difference maker, plain and simple. I love Al Horford. I think he brings a lot, but he's 36. You know what I mean? So even Derek White's played well. I mean, there's no one on this team where I look at, they'd be like, you know what, they played really bad this year.
Yeah, I think the Celtics team
overperforming.
This championship this year is the Celtics to lose as of right now.
I agree. If they don't win the East, I'd be shocked. I mean, something would have to happen. But even if one of the guys goes down,
they could still compete. Yeah. So I guess Celtics team's very, very good.
We've seen what Jaylen Brown does without Tatum, and we've seen what Tatum does without Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. Like I remember one of my first ever YouTube videos when I was getting started. Me and Troy were like, "What's the over under on Jason Tatum's championships?" I think we did 1.5, and we both went over. I stand by that. 100%.
And he's a lifer. Like, I would be shocked if he left the Celtics.
He shouldn't. Nobody from this core should.
If you want to talk about a match made, I mean, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum just worked it out. Because didn't we hear like friction and then it was, I don't know, but.
Well, you got to think they played with a different starting point guard every year for their first like 3 or 4 years. Isaiah Thomas, Kyrie Irving, Kemba Walker, and Marcus Smart.
And how many different coaches have they had already?
3.
3?
Yeah. which
It's a lot.
So
I mean, this is Jason Tatum.
this is
What?
where things are going to be just fine.
Jason Tatum's fifth year in the league, and he's had 3 different coaches and what, 4 different point guards, 5 different point guards.
Yeah, we'll be just fine. The Celtics are going to win a lot of games. Fred, quickly, because I don't want to give too much away about this video you had come out, the Trae Young video. So go check that out. What's the ceiling for this Hawks team?
Lower than it is right now. I'll tell you that. What is their identity?
Yeah.
I mean, the sucker stuck on the floor hasn't played well. Dejounte Murray's great. I love you, kid. I think you're one of the best point guards in the league.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And you're behind a freaking you're behind a dude at YMCA who thinks he's nice and he's taking all the shots.
Yeah,
he might score 40 at YMCA, but he's shooting like, 50 shots a game.
I was so hard on the trade when it first happened because I was like, Trae Young doesn't know how to play off ball. Then I talked myself into it, and I was like,
I talked myself because he could, he should be able to.
They're
he has the game for
fine.
it.
They're going to be just fine. Now I'm like, why would I ever think that? Trae Young's shooting terribly. Trae Young he's going to get his assist because the way the game is today, it's fast paced, it's spread out. Like getting a lot of assists, just because Luka gets a triple double every night, I'm not like, oh my god, he's amazing. I think Luka's really good because of the skill that's there. He can affect the game in different ways. If Trae Young's not scoring the ball, I don't know if he's impacting winning.
No, he's not impacting winning, and he's shooting at a historically bad rate.
Yeah.
You cannot how was he averaging almost 30 points a game shooting under 30% from 3?
I think right now, I'll answer this quickly because we get carried away and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this Hawks. Right now, if Trae Young continues to play this way, their ceiling is maybe a second round entry into the playoffs, but getting maybe one game, like winning one. But if Trae Young's playing better, if John Collins is healthy, if DeAndre Hunter is healthy, I think you could see them sneak into an Eastern Conference Finals, but not make it out.
And I think John Collins has been lackluster.
Are they going to trade him? Or are they going to keep? I'm tired of hearing him in trade talks. You know what I mean?
What's his ceiling? I don't know.
Yeah,
12 points a game. Good for you.
Yeah. We'll move on because the Hawks are disappointing. Cavs, Fred. The Cavs are 16-9 on the season. They're top 10 in field goal, 3-point percentage. They're top 10 in field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage, and they're oddly enough they're 18th in rebound and 27th in steals and 25th in blocks. They've got 2 big men that can defend the rim really well. They've got Donovan Mitchell, who's a good defender. So defensively, they're kind of sliding, or they're not. They're towards the bottom. This Cavs team, their ceiling, in my opinion, is championship bound. I don't know if they win one, but I think if they made it into the finals within the next 3 years, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. I think Evan Mobley they need to figure out what's going on with Evan Mobley, or figure out a way to get him involved. He's still doing fine for being like the 4th option on an offense, but whatever. I thought he would be the 3rd, maybe 2nd, because I think Darius Garland would love to just be an assist man. But nonetheless, I think their defense is going to slide up. Their offense, they're shooting phenomenally. They're 8th in 3-point percentage, like I said, 37%, 47% from the field. Just phenomenal. I think, they're only going to get better and better. And I think this is a team that we could see be buyers towards the trade deadline. They try to bring in another piece to either bring off the bench or be that 5th starter for them to help carry the load. And I think this team could be very, very good and be a scary, scary playoff team.
Yeah, I think Eastern Conference Finals definitely this year. I just think, with Milwaukee and Boston in the way, it's going to be tough. But they don't match up terribly against either of those teams. Mm-mm. I'm kind of surprised how bad they are, statistics wise, how lower half of the league they are. But on the court, on paper it might look like that, but on the court it's a whole different story, in my opinion. I think just having the length like Evan Mobley and Jared Allen will affect any shot. So I'm not worried about it. Yeah, like you said, I would love to see another bench piece come in. Outside of LeVert, who started the majority of the games, Cedi Osman's been decent. He's kind of slid.
Kevin Love's on and off.
Isaac Okoro's been kind of disappointing offensively. Yeah. So, yeah, I like them a lot. I think they're definitely one of the best teams in the league. And I thought it would be that way. But then Donovan Mitchell exceeding expectations is just the icing on the cake for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this Cavs team, and I'd love to see where they go throughout the season. Final team here, Fred. An interesting team because they seem to be really rolling, and all of NBA coverage is loving them. The New Orleans Pelicans.
Mhm.
Fred, I'm going to toss this right to you. What do you think the Pelicans' ceiling is?
For this year,
For as long as they have this core they have.
I think this is a championship roster.
Hmm.
Plain simple.
Hmm.
Plain and simple. Zion Williamson, if he can stay healthy, star. Brandon Ingram, star. CJ McCollum, star. Sorry, X Factor, X Factor, X Factor. If we're going there. Jonas Valanciunas, most underrated big in the league, in my opinion. Trey Murphy's been great. Herb Jones is an all-level defender, also averaging 11 points a game. That's hard to do at his defense. Like Jose Alvarado just randomly scores 6 in a game?
38.
38? Najee Marshall's good. Devontae Graham's been quiet, but we know what he can do. Like this team's deep. This team can guard. This team has star power everywhere. I'm all in on
Fred, I think I disagree with you.
Disagree with me because listen, at the beginning of the year, I said they are the Grizzlies from last year. I said that in the standings video. I think they make that significant jump.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're a bad team. I've been really high on them. I just don't
Where do you
think,
like it defensively, or what's your? Because I think they have the defensive.
I think if you look at playoffs, when it comes to playoff time, if I'm a different team, I'm saying hug everybody. Don't let CJ McCollum get open. Don't let anybody else get open. Let Zion eat because Zion's only going to score twos, and you're going to take twos. We'll trade you for threes. Who's going to win?
Brandon Ingram can get his though.
Yeah, but I'm saying like if you hug him and you like on like off ball, if you deny a ball and he does get the ball, he's gonna raise up mid range. That's his game. That's what he wants to do. Okay, take it two. Okay, Zion, go to the bucket. Go to the bucket again. Go to the bucket again. Go left again and again and again. Take it two. We'll take it. We're gonna come down and hit a couple threes, and we're gonna. I just think playoff wise, I'm a little worried. I do think it's in. What if they traded Valanciunas? I do think he's a very underrated. I think he's one of the better bigs, but I think that as long as he's on the team with Zion, he's not going to spread the floor. You know what I mean? And so I think that has, especially in playoffs when it comes more important, teams are going to be able to just sit right in the paint, sit right there, and to have two guys in Zion's way make it more difficult. The lineups where they don't throw Valanciunas out there and they have like Brandon Ingram and Zion as like their 4-5 are very, very, very efficient. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, unfortunately, but like I was listening to a podcast today, and they're one of the most efficient offenses in the league with just those two. So I do think that's worth exploring. But at the same time, it's like if you keep Valanciunas, that's fine. But I just think it's going to come back to where it's like I don't know how you're going to be able to play him in a playoff series where Zion's going to have to cook.
It depends on matchup.
Yeah, I mean,
like if they're playing the Suns, like you have to have Valanciunas on Ayton.
Yeah. But like defensively, I think this team could be very scary. Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Brandon Ingram. I think all three of those dudes are just lengthy and could just give teams nightmares. Jose Alvarado. Yeah, he's not bad
because he's so athletic.
I can't make up my mind where this Pelicans team ceiling is. I would say right now, just because I have my doubts, I would say a late second round where it's like game 7 in the second round. Yeah. I just don't see them right now. I maybe they prove me wrong, and I think they definitely could, but I don't know.
I think they can make the championship this year. I mean, outside of the Pelicans, Grizzlies, and Suns, I mean, are you scared of anybody?
No, I think they should. Yeah.
I mean, the West is down as ever. If you're the Pelicans, I'm licking my chops.
Yeah, I agree. So I think they could be a surprise.
Sacramento could go to the championship this year in the West. You don't know.
Yeah, and the West
is hard. Like you said, it's Boston's championship to lose. Plain and simple.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all the teams I have right now. We can get more teams later on. Those are just the teams off the top of my head where I was like, where do I see like what's going to go on? But let's move on to something more fun, something where we have to throw some predictions out there, Fred. Fred, who's going to be the first team to make a big splash trade this year? Uh-oh.
You mean the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Okay.
I think they're going to go get Bojan Bogdanovic.
Dude, wow. Or even Sadiq Bey, honestly.
I don't care either one of them.
Yeah.
I'd want Bogdanovic because you know you're going to get consistent scoring every night. And if you add him, son.
Yeah.
Son.
That's
Eastern Conference Finals.
I would say that there's
you can't count out the Milwaukee Bucks though, but you go out and get a guy like that.
Wow. I don't know why I haven't put 2 and 2 together with that. Wow. I like that a lot.
Dude, as soon as you sent me the list and you said, I was like, oh, that's exactly who I'm going for. But because I think he's going to be the hottest. Okay, maybe not the hottest, but one of the hottest names in the trade market. And a team like Cleveland have the money.
Well, I've even heard, I think it's
Isaac Okoro, take him.
Take Isaac Okoro, take a couple second-round picks. I don't see why they don't
take. I don't know, Robin Lopez there. I don't know, somebody. Yeah.
Wow.
Who cares? Go get him.
I mean, we've been saying since day one, since we started hype for this NBA season, that the Cavs are a trade away from being really, really deep. I think they can still make that run without a trade, but that trade, Bogdanovic is kind of an underrated defender too.
He's serviceable for sure. I'd like to see that. Bad. Wow. What about you, Caleb?
Yeah, my team is the Warriors. I think the Warriors are going to make a trade here very, very soon. Moses Moody's not panned out. James Wiseman's not panned out. Anthony Lamb is playing minutes for this team. Who? What if they go after a guy
get him like, a Vermont legend like that?
What if they go after a guy like Jakob Poeltl? I mean, that man on that team.
They'd be willing to give it up too. Hey, how attached are they to Keldon Johnson?
I would keep Keldon Johnson.
Okay.
I would keep Keldon Johnson.
Well, let me ask you a question. If you're the Mavs, I don't mean to go. Well, you think Golden State would trade Klay Thompson?
No.
Okay.
No.
So Jakob Poeltl, where does he fit in that Golden State team?
He's an elite rim protector, an elite rebounder.
Oh, I agree with you. I just wanted you to explain.
No, yeah. He's an elite rim protector, an elite rebounder who doesn't care if he gets the ball. Doesn't care if he gets the ball. He's going to set all the off-ball screens. He's going to roll to the rim at the right time. Has a solid mid-range game. He's a big body. Kevon Looney, as much as Kevon Looney plays well for them, he's only 6'9". Jakob Poeltl is a big boy.
Is that what you think they're missing though? Is a big? Is that you put Jakob Poeltl on the team? Do you think they can be like a top 4 seed in the West?
I mean, absolutely. I think if you have Steph Curry balling out at any point and you bring in another guy, like Andrew Wiggins is consistent, and if you bring in another guy that's going to be consistent for you, absolutely. I don't think
they're not going. They have their first 1 through 4 solidified. That's not going to change.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily the answers they need. They need more bench pieces, in my opinion. But I think if you're able to go get Jakob Poeltl for who cares? Give up James Wiseman. Who cares? He's
Give him Moses. Give him Moses.
Yeah, seriously. I think the Warriors could get interesting with those 2 players being willing.
I would hold on to Kuminga for another year.
Yeah,
I would see if he could, because he's young. He came in the league 18, so he's still. But James Wiseman's just not it. He can.
But let me. We got a few more minutes here. Why don't I throw some more teams out there and just there's one team I want to throw specifically with one specific name. Pelicans.
Sure.
Miles Turner.
I love it. Wait.
Miles Turner can.
Wait, he would fit in that team well. Oh, no.
Really, really well. Really well.
But you'd have to give it Valanciunas.
Yeah, give up Valanciunas, send him, and send But
if I'm the Pacers, I'm wanting Trey Murphy with that. I'd have to go get somebody else.
Yeah, that's true. But if there's a way to make that work where you don't have to give up all your another young piece, bro, go get him.
I don't know if they're gonna trade. I don't know if the Pacers are gonna make a move. If they're gonna make a move, I think they'll make a move to get better. So if they're gonna trade either Buddy Hield or, like you said, Miles Turner, they're gonna have to get somebody in because I think they're gonna want to win. Why not?
They were terrible last year, and I don't. Yeah, I mean, why? We're solid.
We all had them as our 15. seed.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
What's their ceiling?
Fred, another name. This is gonna hint. This is a little foreshadowing to another video we're gonna have coming out soon. Karl Anthony Towns. You willing to give up on him?
Yeah, go to Toronto.
Toronto. Huh.
Him, Pascal, Fred VanVleet.
What about
Scotty
him
Barnes,
in Dallas?
I don't think him and Luka could get along. That's a hard personality to like, Cat.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Luka don't play. Because he's like Jimmy Butler. He don't play.
Yeah.
He might be all fun and nice off the court like Jimmy. Well, when it's on the court, I wouldn't hate it. As a Dallas fan, would you like that? Would you want Cat? Do you think he could give you all the push? Because I think he needs a wing scorer next to him. I don't think he needs a big time big. Hot take.
I mean, the Mavs don't defend the rim well. I don't know if Karl Towns has all the capabilities to do so. I just don't think he does it consistently.
He wants to score. Go get a shot blocking big and get maybe even a guy, Bojan Bogdanovic. Go get him.
Yeah. Since we're talking trades, I'll throw one more name at you, then we'll get out of here, Fred.
Okay.
What team should go after a guy like John Collins? That's tough.
The Nets.
Wow. I didn't even think about that. Why do you think that?
I think you give up on Ben Simmons.
Do the Hawks want to take in Ben Simmons? Does anybody want to take in Ben Simmons?
No, even if you don't want to take in if you don't want to give up Ben Simmons, fine. Bring him off the bench. Cool with me. But if you can piece Kyrie, KD, and John Collins with Nicholas Claxton, Seth Curry, Royce O'Neal,
yeah, that's
the best
interesting.
3-point shooter in the league, you don't want to be bad.
We could go on and on for days about trades. I mean,
hey, another one. Phoenix.
I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. It depends on who they have to give up.
What about the Grizzlies? Move Triple J to the 5.
Man,
you know how athletic that team would be.
Yeah, I think the Grizzlies should go after a guy like Bogdanovic. They need a guy that can calm them down and go get a bucket.
How wrong was I in the offseason when I said the Pistons didn't have a guy to go get one?
You remember I told you, I said, Fred, he can go get you a bucket.
He proved it. Now I'm high on him. He's my favorite name in the trade portal.
Yeah. Dude, we're going to have a trade video coming out soon.
We can literally go through all 30 and be like, this is what they need to do.
Yeah.
Or at least the top 8 teams of each conference.
So, ladies and gentlemen, like always, just stay tuned because we got a lot of stuff coming your way. Fred mentioned that
Can I make one more name?
Go for it.
Obi Toppin.
I'm not interested in him.
Okay. You don't think
he's a fun, athletic guy, but I wouldn't give up a lot for him. But yeah, I mean, that alphabet draft, like Fred said, was a whole lot of fun. So be sure to check that out. It's coming out around Christmas. So when you're traveling, you can watch it. I promise you,
it's a long one. Yeah,
it's worth the watch. Go tell some friends.
Some hot chocolate. You know what I'm saying?
Tell some friends. Tell some family. We appreciate
all the
love.
team, by the way. I drafted the best teams. Just FYI.
We'll leave that up for the debate. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Be sure to stay tuned in. We will catch you all later. As always, like, comment, subscribe, tell some friends. Let us know what you think. Goodbye.